Welcome everyone to the Drunk Planet. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded for a while. I've been busy working on a new series of videos, the Kingdom Hearts retrospective. The first episode is looking to be quite sizable and hopefully should be out as soon as possible. It has taken me quite a while to get this one done, but it should be worth it. No one will see it. It's not worth it at all. But anyway, on the topic of Kingdom Hearts, I am here to discuss the brand new game, Melody of Memory. Melody of Memory is a rhythm action game that was released for both the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4, making it the first game to hit one of Nintendo's platforms since Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS all the way back in 2012. I still have my fingers crossed that the HD collections will make it to the Switch. Come on Square, please, just give it to us. Now, I have bought the Nintendo Switch version because why would I not? This game is perfectly suited to on-the-go pick up and play. This game is set after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC, and it follows Kairi as she delves into her memories and relives the events of the Kingdom Hearts franchise through music-based levels. Now, if you have ever played a Japanese rhythm game, like the Persona dancing games, or Hatsune Miku, you should feel right at home. I definitely haven't played Hatsune Miku, don't shame me. This game is somewhat of a successor to Square's Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm series, yet here the content has been heavily expanded and is now in fully 3D. I've been asking for a Kingdom Hearts Theater Rhythm game for, well, what feels like forever, so I am immensely happy to finally have this in my hand, and it does not disappoint. Now, in terms of gameplay, there is nothing too complex going on here. You can pick through 4 trios of characters and run, glide, and battle your way through familiar Kingdom Hearts environments on an on-rails path akin to something like in Guitar Hero. The only difference being that instead of playing Metallica, you mash along to the amazing music of composer Yoko Shimomura. Now, the 4 trios you can pick from are Classic, Sora, Donald, and Goofy, the Days team, consisting of Roxas, Xion, and Axel, the 3D team, which is Riku and his 2 Dream Eater buddies, and of course, the Birth by Sleep team, featuring Aqua, Terra, and Ventus. It's a simple 3-button system using the A, L, and R to attack. There's also a jump button to dodge attacks and glide, as well as ability crystals where you press Y to either cast a spell or do a special move, like Ars Arcanum. It all flows together really nicely, but it can get very cluttered on screen, and because of it being in 3D, sometimes my depth perception was a bit off, causing me to miss a note because I simply didn't register that it was there. In terms of content, there are over 140 different songs, which you can unlock through various different means, but mainly through the World Tour Story mode. There are 3 difficulty modes: Beginner, Standard, and Proud. Although to really experience a challenge, Proud is definitely the way to go, as the game can be pretty forgiving otherwise. There are 3 varieties of levels: your standard running battles, the flying levels where a music video plays in the background, and boss battles. Each level has its own unique challenges, and by completing them you unlock bonus stars to help you progress through the story and level up your teams. Each level also has certain completion bonuses, such as getting a full chain, hitting all the notes, and all excellent, hitting all the notes with only excellent timing. These are the best parts of these levels. Trying to play one completely perfectly is an awesome nail-biting experience. There are also other playstyles as well, like the one-button mode and performer style. Yet you can't use these in the World Tour mode, they can only be used when playing from the track list, which is a bit bizarre because the one-button mode is aimed for people who are finding the game too hard. Yet they have to play through the levels on normal style before they even unlock this simpler option. You can use items such as potions, XP and item boosts, as well as a summoning star which lets Mickey join your team. I found myself not needing to use the potions particularly often, but the boosts are very useful, and of course I'm going to want Mickey on my team. What am I, a pleb? You get these items from playing songs or by synthesizing them in the menu. Much like in the main Kingdom Hearts games, here you can use materials to forge items, new songs, and even collectibles. Which brings me swiftly to the museum, easily one of the best bits about the game. It is a pure love letter to the franchise. Here you can collect artwork, enemies, keyblades, story snippets, It also chronicles the cutscenes recapping the series and a jukebox mode which you can use to just listen to the songs you've unlocked. Trying to complete the museum is going to keep the life of this game going for me, especially if you love collecting. The online mode is another worthwhile addition. Now, I haven't delved into it too deeply, but I thoroughly enjoyed what I have played thus far. Essentially, you compete against another player and try and beat their score. However, there is a catch. You have a trick meter, and once full, you can play a trick on your opponent, or vice versa. Now these tricks range from turning the enemies invisible, flinging the enemies at your screen, or even swapping health bars. Then, after a match, you can unlock a new collectible for your museum. The multiplayer mode has had way more care put into it than I initially thought. There are even local multiplayer modes and your own customizable gamertag. I will definitely be returning to this mode in the future. Although there is one big downside, which is there is no way of playing against a friend online. Your opponent is purely random. Now, the only mode left is co-op, and unfortunately, as I'm a lonely saddo and no one will want to play a Mickey Mouse game with me, I was unfortunately not able to try it out. But I imagine it is pretty self-explanatory. Now, the track list here is really big, which I'm super thankful for. It's a mix of character themes, battle music, overworld songs, even some Disney tracks make it into the fold, like The Circle of Life from The Lion King and Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. Mostly every iconic track from the series is here, except if it's from Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 got done dirty. There are barely any tracks from it. Every other game, bar Recoded, has about 20 to 30 plus songs, whereas Kingdom Hearts 3 literally has about 7 in the main campaign, one of which was Let It Go. Which is a crying shame. The music from that game is some of the best in the series, and I really hope that they can add more through DLC. As much as I don't want to have to pay extra, I will. Another gripe I have is that for some bizarre reason the game has the original recordings for the tracks, and not the re-orchestrated versions from the HD remixes. The original recordings are clearly way inferior to the orchestral ones. This decision is baffling to me. Land of Dragons just sounds so much worse. I know this was how it originally was, but come on, these better, improved versions exist. Why were they not used? I want to try and stay as spoiler-free as possible, which thankfully should be quite simple because Melody of Memory barely has one. The game immediately just shoves you into the fold without explanation to why any of this is happening, or why Kairi is narrating it all. Essentially, there are small cutscenes after some levels that recap the series, yet they are very brief, and if you have not played these games before, good luck following them. Because even after playing through a Kingdom Hearts game, I struggle to fully comprehend what just happened.
His empty body stayed in the present, took the name Xemnas, and founded Organization 13. Their goal was to prepare 13 vessels for Xehanort's heart.
So having it explained to me in 20-second cutscenes really does nothing. This is more of a celebration as opposed to a gateway into the series. Now, in terms of news story, which was advertised in all the game's trailers, it is rather underwhelming. I won't say too much, but you know how in Kingdom Hearts 3 all the good stuff kind of happened at the end? Well, Nomura obviously thought that worked so well there, that for Melody, the story is exclusively at the end of the game. Clocking in at around 20 minutes of new cutscenes that mainly consist of characters stood around talking, setting up the plot for the next game. This was advertised as Kairi's story, and again, she has been robbed. She's not even in one of the playable teams. But I digress. There is some interesting setup, but if you're looking to get this game purely for the story, then you are better off just watching the 20 minutes of cutscenes on YouTube and saving yourself 50 quid. Overall, this is a great game for Kingdom Hearts fans. I found myself having an enthralling experience reliving my favourite memories from my favourite series. The gameplay is solid, and the amount of modes and collectibles will keep me occupied way after the credits have rolled. However, there are a lot of strange choices here.
I'm afraid such mysteries are beyond our comprehension.
Like the absence of being able to play with a friend online, the older versions of the songs, and blatant gaps in the track list. The story is also non-existent, which I wouldn't be as mad about if it weren't featured so heavily in the game's marketing. And the final gripe I have is with the price. In the UK, this game will set you back $49.99, which for a rhythm game is pretty steep. The Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix for PS4 retailed for $39.99, and now you can find it for less than half that. That collection has 4 games and 2 whole movies in it. Heck, even Kingdom Hearts 3 you can now find for about under a tenner. So at the end of the day, I just don't think Melody of Memory can justify that price. As a fan, I don't mind paying it, but if you are unsure on whether to get this yet, best just to wait until a price drop. However, I don't want all those negatives to hide the fact that this is a very well-made rhythm game. It accomplished what it set out to do very competently. I still had a sweet time playing this. Growing up as a kid, I used to have all these tracks saved on my phone, and I would listen to them on the bus from my way home from school, which sounds extremely sad, which it is, but that just emphasizes how important this music is to me, and being able to have this comprehensive collection is just a dream come true. That's Drunk Planet signing out. Please keep an eye out for my retrospective that will be coming out soon, I hope next week. It's a big one, it's taken a lot of editing, the script was well over 15 pages long, but strap in for a bumpy ride and I will see you soon.